baby.
This is our message for Mr. LeftEyeEgo. You poor thing. If you were not watching Monday Night Raw and you are a fan of the human highlighter,
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Welcome to Wednesday Night is Overbooked. We are here. We have a full complement here. As Brad last week had to go to a work thing, at least it wasn't in New Orleans. So we've already got some folks here in the chat. We have our man who is in charge of the logo for Wednesday Night is Overbooked. That will be Mr. Jacob Ironside. You know what? Jacob does not get enough love here. Ego, if you're a fan of classic films and classic TV, Jacob Ironside is a channel that you should be watching. Ego, do you mind dropping Jacob's link down in the chat?
You got it, good sir.
So we're going to go in reverse order, as we're going to start right beneath here, the hardcore blood bank. Matt, the unbearable 73. How are you, sir?
Doing okay here in the anus of America, New Jersey. Just surviving and thriving, you know.
Nice. And, oh, hello, sir. Hello, Mr. Roman of the Empire. We will also be with myself. Matt will be on with Roman of the Empire tomorrow night. Jacob, do you mind throwing Roman's link in the chat as well? Fun little discussion as we make Roman's head explode on a weekly basis. It's a good time. And directly down here is our legal expert, the Duke Devil, Bradley Burnett. How are you, sir? And how is watching the holes of worms?
It's continued to be pretty good so far. Positive vibes, but overall, doing nice and warm down here. 90-degree weather on the Gulf of America.
90 degrees. It was a brisk 108 out here in Las Vegas.
But dry heat.
It gets past 100. It's just hot. It's just all.
It's a microwave, dude.
You know. Then over here, the man with the clown background, the guy who is still recovering because the human highlighter, the Yeet Mania is over. And
did it last longer than Kofi Mania?
No.
They did Jay wrong.
So, as if you were watching the live recap of Money in the Bank, when Mr. Ego said that Lyra Valkyria is the female Jey Uso, I just had to give Ego some facts that Jey Uso held the Intercontinental Championship for a whopping 28 days. His World Championship reign lasted 51 days. So 2 titles, less than 80 days.
Lame reign for a lame event.
Lyra Valkyria held the Intercontinental Championship for 145 days. So unlike Jey Uso.
Yeah, but those are in women years, so that's like 6 hours.
Lyra Valkyria can actually hold a championship. Mark that down.
I don't think you should count that one, Ego. I don't think you should count that one.
You should count that one. And LeftEyeEgo, how are you, sir?
Well, for anyone that cares to know, if you watch me on my Ordinary Games channel, I light a ceremonial airing of grievances. Now, I will not take nearly as long as I do on my show, but just know, guys, I have lit the candle for my ceremonial grievance, okay? Just know that it is lit.
Not even Festivus.
Yeah,
know.
I'm with you, bro.
Oh, it is.
I mean,
it is around here. Okay.
I may dislike
everything
Lame
I've had-
Event, but I think they did him wrong with this loss.
Thank you. With what I've had to endure, I will break out the Festivus ceremonial candle of the year of grievances. For those of you wondering why I have a clown background, it's because apparently I am a clown for thinking the WWE would be doing right by Jey Uso. Okay, I would say that, you know, hey, he's unlike Larry Valkyria, but what do I know? Neither one of them have a fucking title right now. So that is what it is. So I want to be a clown for the rest of this stream because apparently I'm a dummy for trusting the WWE and my main man, the highlighter, Human Real. Okay.
That is so cute.
So we do have a goal. He goes, and Ego, check your mic. You kind of sound like you're in a bathroom. You're kind of echoing a little bit. And we do have a goal, folks. We have a goal of at least double-digit likes. Make sure that you are hitting that like button. You are subscribing to all of our channels, as all our links are down below in the description.
I say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
Thank you, Harley. We have another comment here. Said 2 titles in 80 days isn't bad. It's not. Like, he won't get them back over his career. John Cena had to lose the title over and over and over to get to 17. And she gives you a yeet. So
Did someone actually just compare Lame Event Jey Uso to John Cena?
Someone
I think
just
they did, and I actually appreciate that.
But wait,
we'll get in.
she's new. She's new here, right?
Why would you? Why can't I have anything? Why am I not allowed to have anything?
We're denying you. We're denying you. We're allowing the
I can't have
champ.
Hope. I can't have Jey Uso. I can't have Jay Cargill. You guys are taking everything from me. And when Steph
Well, you
books
keep
that
picking
takes
duds.
this away
We
from
will
me.
You're
give
going
you
to
something.
Dudleyville and picking the duds, not the good ones. You know, it's like
Ego, I promise I will give you something. I promise I will give you something.
What? What am I giving you?
I'm not going to tell you yet. It's what it's so.
Mhm.
You don't give you. Here's your birthday gift. Oh, it's this. I mean, you.
I'm that guy though. Tell me what birthday gift is.
No.
Thank you.
So, as I said, Ego and I did a live recap of Money in the Bank, and that I wanted to get words and thoughts from Mr. Brad and Matt as well. But did anybody watch on the WWE YouTube channel, which is free, the Worlds Collide event?
I
I don't have time for that.
Okay. 2 things that came out of that. One, which I'm sure Matt watches a lot of Lucha as well.
Yeah, I still want to watch it. I just haven't had time yet.
Well, the opening match was very much a Lucha style match. It was very performative, very highly choreographed. And it's fine. It's great. Could I watch a 2-hour show of that? No, that would drive me nuts. But the WWE Universe at Large was introduced, as Ego also watched this, the very entertaining, very, very entertaining Mr. Iguana, which I was laughing every time he was in the ring. I was laughing my ass off. That guy is extremely entertaining and a quality wrestler as well. Oh, we got a little. And Ego, Jacob's glad you changed your background there. He said the clown was freaking him out.
At least it wasn't Pennywise.
True story. Oh, and Stephanie's telling you to keep your chin up there, Ego. Stephanie, thank you for helping out Ego here, because
You never know. I mean,
because this is not a safe space for ego here.
I have no friends here. None.
That's not true. You just had bad takes.
Then we had what will probably be one of the match of the year candidates, Chad Gable versus Vikingo. That match was an absolute banger. So if you were to take away two things from that event, watch the first match and the main event. Absolute bangers.
Are you saying that Chad Gable put on as good a performance as El Grande Americano?
Just as good,
Wow.
if not equally.
I mean, that's the one luchador that he actually likes.
Well, Chad rose to the occasion. We know El Grande Americano is an all-time great, a legend, but Chad Gable can occasionally rise to that level.
I also think that Chad Gable actually lent Americano his boots for the later match, because I think, probably coming through customs, how customs is, they probably confiscated his boots. So Chad gave his boots to Americano, which
Chad's a team guy. He's a team guy.
Yeah. You just got to love camaraderie in the WWE these days.
All right, and I just got word we are at 4 likes so far. Make sure you are hitting that. Make sure you are hitting that like button, folks. Get those likes up, because we have a goal of at least double digits. Now, we did the recap of Money in the Bank, which, by the way, thank you for everyone who joined that show. We may be doing the more of those later on throughout the year. So I want to get Brad. I want your take overall of the event, Money in the Bank. I thought that last year's show was a way better show, and not to say that this show was terrible, but it was just okay.
I thought it was solid.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, honestly, the one match I liked the most was the women's money match.
Really? You like this one most? Okay.
I was surprised. I enjoyed that the most.
I thought this match went a little short. That's just me. And I thought that last year's Money in the Bank was way better. But you've got 4 people in here who have never done a Money in the Bank ladder match, 2 vets at it, and a feature who this was her 3rd match in 24 hours. This girl was tired.
Yeah.
She was beat to shit.
Well, she's clearly not human with the horns.
Right. I mean, she is from hell. All right, Matt, your overall thoughts of just the overall show.
It wasn't as good as last year's or the year before. I think it suffers from an event like Money in the Bank suffers from being compared to. We know it's an extreme event, like it has hardcore matches and all that stuff. So you're not. It's always judged, and it's one of the peak hardcore regular events, right? So it's always judged by a higher standard. It's not like a regular ladder match on TV or whatever, So every time you're going into it, you're thinking, for this event as a whole, it's got to be a really, really good card. And this year especially, I didn't care about the tag match, which was, it was a good match, but I didn't care about the tag match at the end, for example. So that's kind of the overall.
Okay. So we know that Brad thought that the ladies' match was the best match. Now I had too high hopes for this match, because just the individual talent in here is stacked. This match was actually the more entertaining match, even though it was the wrong result. It should have gone to LA Knight and not Seth, but that will play into other things later on. So that was a quick. So anything else anybody want to? Oh my God. Look who's back. It's Dempsey the Drunk Poet. How are you, sir? Where have you been?
Where have you been, dude?
Glad you're back, sir.
I got more to say about it, but we're going to go over each match, or just want me to?
what match did you find the most entertaining, Matt?
Oh, the men's match, the men's Money in the Bank. But here, look, I hate to say it, criticizing women's wrestling because I enjoy it, but if you watch the women's match and you have a really good memory, they have the same spots like almost every year with the double ladder and bridges and all that, and like because they're physically limited in what they can do, you know. It almost would help. I mean, it helps having all the women around to some of the, but more than me to know that they have to set stuff up off camera. So we're not, that's the one big thing. Now, when you get to the men, comments of the men knowing to do that, plus being more physically capable, you get some insane spots in the ladder match. I mean, and you never know because of the physical athleticism. When they were doing the 3 ladders or 2 ladders in the middle, you never knew what they were going to do up there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Matt, can I ask you a question? Do you make room or give space to the fact that 4 out of the 6 women in this match were all rookies to a Money in the Bank ladder match? Are they given any grace for this being their first time with that many rookies?
That's a criticism of the person booking the match.
Correct.
Okay.
So you gotta when you go into a match like this, half of your people in that match
should be the veterans.
Not just that, but they're there to set the match up. They're not there to win.
They're the
like Andrade last year. Andrade there last year to set the match up. You know what I mean? So
may I give?
Oh yeah.
May I give an example? So last year, Zoe Stark and Io, neither one were in there to win the match. They were there to play. They were basically there to play traffic cop.
Yep.
They were there to make sure everyone is where they need to be.
And also in that match last year, Naomi did a great job covering for quite a few early botches. She recovered that match 2 or 3 times in the early part.
Right.
Yep. And then this year, I'm not saying that they, just the point is with the women's match like this, always make sure you have at least 3 people in there who can pull this match off and set the spots up and all that sort of stuff. Now, that being said, on the men's match, even though we've seen Money in the Bank for men for about 20 plus years now, they still, every time they get the 3 ladders in the middle or whatever they're going to do, you still get surprised.
Right.
Because they're less physically limited. Like, what was the spot I'm trying to remember now? Like I thought someone was going to get a Mexican destroyer from the top rope to the floor, the ladder on the side. They didn't do it, but it was in your head that they might try it because they could have done it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you would never expect that in a women's match. From the top rope to the ladder on the floor. Or here's another one. When Solo got put through the ladder.
Oh, when the Iranagi.
And he got broken through the ladder. Like it wasn't just put through the ladder. Solo took a real spot there. He did the job for the match. And but they still could have done other things that Solo had less of an impact. The point I'm getting is you that could be more extreme of a spot with the men.
Gotcha.
And therefore there's a more variety and more and I'm not looking for the more extreme spot. I'm saying it lends you more variety of the spot.
Gotcha. So Brad, Brad, on the other side, what did you enjoy about the ladies match?
I thought there were some really good spots in there that I was surprised to see. And I'm not saying like it was worse. I just, for some reason, enjoyed it more. There's sometimes it's like, it's an ephemeral thing you can't necessarily explain.
Gotcha.
From a storyline aspect, I think there was more story being told in the men's match,
Correct.
Which goes on from there. But the fact is you had 2 veterans in there and then you had 4 rookies. And I'm like, I was impressed. I mean, they opened up with a really solid match. And I just, for whatever it was, for some reason, I enjoyed it more than the men's. I don't know why.
I'll say this. Julia looked really good in this match. Julia looked
Oh,
real
don't get me
strong.
wrong. I'm not criticizing the lady's effort, performance
Never
level.
say that you were.
I'm just saying the match structure itself doesn't help them.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then because of course, you know, like Matt's totally right. Like there are certain things. I'm going to say something blasphemous. Biologically, there are things that men can do that women cannot, and there are things that women can do that men cannot. When it comes to sports, there are things that men can do physically the women cannot. So you're going to see more danger spots, more hardcore hitting spots in a men's match, and we definitely saw that. I mean, when Americana was taken off the top of the
back
the
suplex.
ladder, oh
Yeah.
my!
Suplex.
I was like, oh God, I felt that. I'm like,
Yes.
oh my God.
And
Chad Gable in the audience felt that.
Well, I mean, and you know, Chad probably felt some camaraderie after he took a 630 senton from the Vikingo earlier. That just a few.
By the way,
Chad's putting his boots on. He's still feeling that hit.
By the way, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but they didn't have any tables at all, I think, in these matches.
Nope.
And because they don't have table stacks up anywhere, they can't do the big ladder drop where the guy pushes the ladder over and the guy falls to the floor. They all have to jump off.
Yeah,
like
that's
before
dangerous.
They don't have any safe tables to land on.
So I think that kind of covers Money in the Bank, as we are 2.5 weeks away.
Oh, thank God.
2.5 weeks away from the next premium live event. And that is going to be Night of Champions in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Riyadh. Now, we got our first match announced last night or Monday night on Raw. John Cena came out. He's talking to the crowd, saying that he's got less than 19 appearances left in the year. And he needs competition. Cue the music, and out comes CM Punk. And these two go back and forth, and it's wonderful. It's great. And we get the challenge for the WWE Championship. And probably the most heelish thing that John Cena has done in his title run. Said, you want a shot at this? You're on. But you have to follow me to Saudi Arabia. The match was made official, and people have been very quick to bring up the controversy that is CM Punk with Saudi Arabia. Now, for those of you who don't know, CM Punk kind of wears his opinions on his sleeve, and he has been very vocal in the past about the WWE doing business with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Even when Miz was going over there talking, he was hyping it up, and he tweeted, "Enjoy your oil-soaked blood money, sucking on your blood money dildo, oil-soaked," kind of something along those lines. So now that CM Punk is in a main event at a Saudi Arabia show, folks are outgoing hypocrite. Ego, I want your initial take first.
There is no such thing as a hypocrite. There's only someone that does something strange for a little piece of change. And that's what CM Punk did. So, I mean, I kind of expected this in terms of like going over there to do this. I think that everyone's morals are strong when you're not with the company and you're not getting paid. I expect things to fully change once that happens. And there's no amount of grandstanding or more high ground you could take that is that's going to be that's something that you can't go at. It's like, so it's just, it's like you have the moral high ground, but you're not above being in the mud with the rest of us. It's just grandstanding for me. So I kind of expected that. So it didn't surprise me.
Gotcha. Brad, your take, sir.
What did CM Punk said? What did he say when he came back to the WWE? He wasn't here to make friends. He's here to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's got a lot of damn money? Oil
Saudis.
barons.
Mm-hmm.
The Saudis. So, maybe there was some resistance, and then someone goes, well, it's kind of like, so this is like Uber Tony Khan. I always joke, like, Tony Khan's got his wrestling action figures. These guys make Tony Khan look poor.
Right.
So I would suspect that Punk is getting a very handsome check, which, look, he's got his straight edge style, but he's a freaking capitalist, and he's making bank.
Okay. Matt, thoughts?
Well, yeah. Like what Brad said, and I agree with all that. The other thing is, and don't quote me on this, but there are legal reasons why people can't travel to certain countries. And I dimly recall something with Punk, allegedly some issue with Saudi's not letting him in the country, and that pissed him off at them. Don't know how true that is. This is from when he first came back to WWE, I think. Because they've been doing it. They had the contract with the Saudis since then. Again, don't quote me on it, but it's just something I remember someone talking about. That there's a bunch of, like Jacob Batu, they have to negotiate to get him into Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple other wrestlers like that. And eventually, money talks and all that. But that's kind of where I stand on it.
Okay. Here's my take. CM Punk may not in direct words in writing, but CM Punk signed on to do Saudi shows when he came back to the WWE. Saudis pay $50 million a pop.
Yep.
So, do I like this match? I love this match.
We want this match.
I want this match. Do I think it needs to be on a larger stage? Yeah, SummerSlam possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting the match, and like Brad said, Punk is here to make the money. He's going to make a lot of money doing this show, and we know next year the Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi. Do you really think Punk? Do you really think you're not gonna have Punk at that show? And in 3 years, there's going to be a WrestleMania in Saudi. Punk will be at that show. So when Punk returned to the WWE, he signed on to do Saudi shows.
Agreed.
Just something on what you said there, JV. I don't think any of us thinks that Cena dropping the title at Clash of the Night of the Champions.
No. No, and this will go into what we're about to talk about. So, Monday night on Raw, we started the tournament for another feature of Night of Champions, which I actually enjoy. It's a little rushed this year because they just don't have a lot of time to play this whole thing out, and that is the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. As the way this goes now, as before it was a kind of a gimmicky thing. You got to sit on a throne and wear a crown and a scepter and have a robe, and it was gimmicky. It was Vince McMahon. It was stupid. This now, the winner of the King or Queen of the Ring tournament gets a title match versus the champion of whatever brand they are on, Raw or SmackDown. So we started last night with a fatal four-way match: Sami Zayn, Penta, Braun Breaker, and Rey Mysterio. Sami got the win. Sami is on to the Finals. He will face the winner of this SmackDown match right here, Randy Orton, LA Knight, Aleister Black, and Carmelo Hayes. I think looking at the favorite, you might say Randy. I could see Mello or Aleister stealing a win. This bracket here throws off the whole thing because of one person. We have Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Andrade, and Pinske Nakamura, who will face the winner of Sheamus, Rusev, Big Bronson Reed. God, sign me up for that match already. And a mystery guest, a mystery person. Who could that be? Does anyone have a guess of who that mystery?
Can we handle the truth of who that guest will be?
Well, that is possible. There's also
he's going over big right now.
Well, there is that. There's also possibly Karrion Kross.
No.
Just saying. Or I've heard the prevailing rumor is coming back from injury, Ilya Dragunov. Now, for me personally, Cody Rhodes throws off the whole thing because it seems too easy. Because if Cody wins, he's going to the final and he's going to win, and that's Cody, Cena, SummerSlam. But do we need this to get there?
Well, I would like to see Cody actually earn the title shot, not just walk in and say, I want a title shot.
Okay.
I hate one thing I hate about wrestling in the modern era is guys walking out and saying, just challenging for matches and say, oh, we're just going to do the match. No,
well,
the champions do like, well, you want to face me? Beat these two guys and show you can do something, Or the general manager will say, wait a minute, you're not booking this show. I am. This is how it's going to be. Like, I hate walk out there and challenge for the match booking.
Well, considering Cody is the former champion and never got a rematch.
We're way past that, though.
I'm just saying.
I'm not sure we are.
I don't see how. I mean, literally, it's almost like you're burying Cody if he doesn't win. You're burying your top babyface.
See what I
have
think.
No problem with Cody winning this event.
I don't either. I don't either. I like, but there's another story that I like a little more. This is what I think. So we already know that Sammy's here.
Right.
Where's Night of Champions gonna be?
Saudi Arabia.
Sammy's going here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. I like Sammy becoming king of the ring
against Sheik Bronson Reed. There we go.
Woo!
However, I do like this idea of Sammy becoming king of the ring, challenging Gunther at SummerSlam, who he has history with, who he's beaten. So then you're not getting babyface against babyface. You have Sammy, Gunther, and just like he did at WrestleMania years ago, Mr. Money in the Bank pulls a heist, pins Sammy to become the new world heavyweight champion. And that takes us into next year with the Rumble, Mania, and that other long-term story there. That's what I see. That's what I would like to see. Ego, your thoughts?
I mean, Cody Rhodes being this does kind of mess it up. I would have liked if someone that as a human highlighter reel would have kept the title, and I would have learned to see.
Seriously, no one cares.
So would have liked better. I think I was getting my mind had stuttered. Let me get there.
I stutter.
No, but my mind was stuttering. You got to let me catch up, okay? It was working there, okay? All I'm saying is friends turned enemies would have been better, okay? I would have been okay with that. But since this is here, I already had Sami Zayn go into the final when the first match started. I sounded like you. I was like, nah, honey, Sami Zayn's going to actually wind up in the finals. How do you know that? I'm like, God damn it. This is how JV sounds. Every time he sounds so important because he knows what's going to happen before it happens. But anyway.
I don't book the matches, folks.
Don't believe this bullshit he's telling you. He books matches in his spare time, okay? That's why he has videos every day. He's just giving you guys an outline of what's going to happen. Anyway, I've got Sami Zayn here. I really wish R-Truth would be the special guest entrant because I have Sami Zayn versus R-Truth for maximum awesome factor for me. But thank you, Dempsey. Thank you. But yeah, I've got Sami Zayn actually winning Night of Tournaments and being crowned King of the Ring.
Okay, Brad, thoughts?
I think that makes sense. But like you say, the wrench in this is Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't diminish Cody. He's your top babyface.
Correct. Top merch seller, top everything.
Yeah. So that's the problem. That's the sticky wicket in this. And you know what? I'm fine seeing Sammy win and then go after Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also picking a scenario because look, we're not going to have. I'm now thinking Cena's title.
Right.
Punk's not winning.
No.
In Saudi, there's not going to be a title change in Saudi.
No.
What I could see though is some sort of setup for a triple threat match at SummerSlam. Cody, Punk, and Cena.
I would not hate that.
No. That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting. But I think you're right. Now, mind you, Sammy is Syrian.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a little bit different than Saudi.
But they love him there.
Yeah, that's true. They do love him. It would be a huge pop. I see him beating LA Knight. I think LA Knight takes that bottom bracket there.
Okay.
Beat Sammy. Sammy wins over him. I see Cody going ahead. And if, like you say, Ron Killings is in there, you know what? I think shenanigans would allow Ron Killings to go against Sammy.
Possibly.
But I think you're right. I'm okay with that idea.
Matt, thoughts?
I actually kind of like, even though I'm not a big fan of the Sami Zayn win, Sammy versus R-Truth in the final match, and Sammy goes over that. That's an appealing match to me. We haven't seen it in years, first of all. Second, R-Truth does not need to win that match to gain cred, right? He has cred from his career, right? And you want to we don't know how long his current rush is going to last, so you figure it's a 2-3 month thing, so you want to ride it as much as you can for merch purposes, right? Now, as far as who I would like to see win this thing, here's what I would do. I would have Cody win the thing, get his shot at SummerSlam. Cody beats Cena, and then right away, Money in the Bank cash in. Cody gets knocked unconscious, and we have Seth Rollins as champ. That's what I would like to see.
So you have Seth going. So you would have Seth going to SmackDown then. Yeah,
because I want to see Cody chasing someone, and he can't really chase Cena because Cena's got 19 days left.
Okay, so my question is: so then do you bring Heyman, Breaker, and Reed to SmackDown too?
I would have his
titles.
I would have Heyman call in his special advisor powers to say we could be on any show we want as a gimmick,
Possibly.
And because like we need to see more of that sort of like storytelling with that aspect where obviously you want to keep guys on their shows for the most part, but certain people need to have special powers to be anywhere. You know what I mean? Not just
Possibly.
Cody and Roman. You know,
They need to swap titles.
That could solve a lot of problems
Yeah.
as well. With this.
So one more thing on this. If Sammy winning this, like I said, not opposed to it. It's Saudi Arabia, Muslim camaraderie, blah blah blah. I get all that, right? I'm leery of I'm leery of how I put it. If you do the other route where they go after Gunther's title now, I really don't want to see Gunther drop the title again. I mean, I think they did R-Truth wrong, not R-Truth. As much as I don't like lame event, he did not have the title for long enough, you know? And like Gunther should have gone back to a chase. They should have Gunther murder stomping people to rebuild his cred, and then he goes after Jay maybe at SummerSlam.
Okay, well,
you know,
let me pitch this. Okay, you've got Sammy Gunther SummerSlam. Now Gunther is a heel, but he's an honorable heel. To lose a title based on a cash-in, and he doesn't even, and Gunther's not even the one that gets pinned. Gunther would see Seth as a chicken shit, and you would get you could almost get, strangely enough, Gunther playing a babyface in a Seth Rollins dynamic, challenging Seth Rollins. Just saying.
I'm not opposed to it. I just feel I don't want to see Gunther. I feel that by having him basically tap out like a lame ass, you know, again, I don't want to take away from Jey Uso's win. I'm saying that whoever scripted that match, they ended in a way that to me weakened Gunther. And right now Gunther's weak, and Gunther needs to go back. Huh?
It was Brood. It was Brood.
Okay, so Gunther is in a weak position right now, and to get his strength back, he has to go back to brutalizing people.
Gotcha.
Like all that cool stuff he did to brutalize the Usos going into that match set it up beautifully, and then they ruined it with the way they scripted the match.
I would tend to agree. So this tournament here is going to be quite interesting. Now for the women, we have, as I said, a legitimate worst case nightmare scenario.
It will never happen, JB.
Okay, Matt, you and I have already.
I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna go on record as saying it will never happen. That's all I'm saying.
I got the nightmare scenario.
So we had this match last night. Roxanne steals a win. Roxy's going to the semifinals. She will face the winner of this match, Jade Cargill, Michin, Piper Niven, and Nia Jax.
What a fucking awful bracket.
That's why I'm saying the exact same thing. And then also from SmackDown, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, Candice LeRae. Now, they showed the brackets before the video package, so they spoiled the return of Asuka next week. But we have Asuka.
That's never screwed up like that.
I know. Asuka, Stephanie Vaquer, Raquel Rodriguez, and Ivy takes the pin, Nile. Now, Matt and I already talked about the nightmare scenario that could actually happen. Brad, you said you already see the possible nightmare. Please, what are you seeing?
I see a SmackDown matchup at Night of Champions.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait, question. Is Night of Champions going to be in Saudi or is it going to be at Evolution?
Saudi.
Okay. So they're going to have the women wrestling in 150-degree temperatures in full body suits.
Sure.
We'll see who dies. Yes. We will have... Here's our nightmare scenario. Charlotte Flair versus Jade Cargill.
Yep.
And we have WrestleMania 41 Charlotte Flair wrestling, 0-point articulation action figure Jade Cargill.
Who can't do a promo either.
Well, maybe they can just bring out a puppet or something for her. This would be
Mr. Iguana. Bring
Mr.
out
Iguana.
Yeska.
Now we have
Bring
Mr.
out
Iguana.
Yeska, because Yeska has more personality than Jade Cargill does. Ego's just shaking his head.
That is, as soon as I look, I'm like, well, I just see the nightmare scenario. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's apocalyptic. Here come the 4 horsemen. And it's not the good 4 horsemen. It's the bad ones.
Ego, your thoughts.
Who's coming out of this bracket?
My nightmare is Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair.
Well, that's not happening.
I know. I said my nightmare. My thinking is it's going to be Roxanne Perez versus.
He's in complete denial now.
He is.
Stephanie Buckier.
So I will say this:
no.
the only saving grace to save this entire thing is if Stephanie wins.
If
Stephanie wins
right now, that's what I'm saying.
Asuka can't be pinned though.
Well, she won't be there.
Ivy.
That's why I said Nia Jax is easy. Or if Roxanne Perez take the pin.
Okay, if Stephanie wins her qualifying match, that is your new queen of the ring, and it'll be Stephanie against Io at SummerSlam.
I'm okay with that.
Which
it's going to be Charlotte too. We know it's going to be Charlotte.
Which I would love that match. But I think again, this is the worst case scenario here. We're gonna get Jade and Charlotte at Night of Champions. Jade wins. I think Jade wins.
No.
Because someone's going to cash in on Tiffany Stratton, and that is Miss Money in the Bank, Naomi, and you're going to get Jade Cargill versus Naomi at SummerSlam.
Hey, how to bury the women's division in 5 steps or less?
Well, at least your SmackDown one. At least your SmackDown women's division.
Oh,
so that is a nightmare scenario, which WWE, please don't do this. Please.
There's a far greater chance of Nia Jax versus Raquel Rodriguez in the final than there's Jade Cargill versus Charlotte.
We will see. So
one other thing on that though, Joker. I was thinking about this with Stephanie Buckier. I don't think she's going to be there because her gimmick is she's a demoness, and there's religious concerns there, which sounds
interesting.
So they've done that before with when Undertaker. Well, I can't even say that. But because he hadn't been wrestling in the modern era, but when he's gone to those parts of the world in the olden days, they toned down his demonic nature.
Right.
So
it's possible. Right.
Yeah.
And plus, I think you would want Stephanie as one of your new feature female talent to be at the all female premium live event. Just my thought there. Now, I came across this the other day, and I thought this would be a fun little thing to talk about. Just a little side note, because we're talking about John Cena and his 17th title reign. Cena.
The last of the great champions.
So they say. Now, I came across this, and who is better? We have John Cena, 17 title reigns, 1,404 days and counting. Roman Reigns, 1 title reign, 1,316 days.
I'm sorry. Do they count these days like when you win it
how
it's extended from the last time, or how does that work? Confused.
It's okay for Cena. It's all 16 title reigns.
Oh, together?
Added up.
Oh.
And his current run. which
Um,
a great site to get all this stat stuff. CageMatch.net. It's a great.
Logging onto it now. CageMatch.net.
My question on these stats is, how many times was Cena comparatively active? Because there's some, when Roman's got his reign, he's not as active as Cena was back in the day when he was holding the belt.
Fair point.
I mean, Cena was literally there basically 10 years straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roman was there, but not as a champion. Not as this champion. And there's a lot of gap between Roman defending, I feel like.
Okay. And that's a fair point. And that's a very fair point because you would have the title reigns of like Lesnar, who would win a title and not show up for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So here is now. Steph says statistically, Cena, and I think she agrees with me on this one too. Wrestling ability and IQ, Roman Reigns.
I disagree with that.
Stephanie, for
More
that.
moves.
Mark that down.
Already, Steph gets one.
So,
Board, Steph.
for me personally, yes, Cena has 17 title reigns. This is the only one that I'm going to remember for how poorly it's been executed. Because, okay, Cena had 16 title reigns. Name one that was significant. I mean, I would say John Cena had more significance when he was the United States champion and was doing that United States Open Challenge. I think that was much more significant to him as a WWE guy. Roman was the top story for 4 years. So,
I would just point out a different storytelling environment.
okay.
I would go back to the tried and true measure of wrestling success, which is how much money do you make? John Cena, for something like 10 to 15 years, was the top or one or two top moneymakers in wrestling. And
Gotcha.
Roman, even during his rough 4-year reign, never surpassed Brock Lesnar on any of those years. Brock has been the number one moneymaker for WWE as a wrestler, for merch sales and all that. It's like 2017 or some crazy number like that.
Wow.
It's so bad that for the last 2 years, because of the lawsuit, they shifted his contract to another corporation so he doesn't appear on the list. He's still making insane money. People still buy Brock jerseys and all that sort of stuff. And I like Roman's success as the tribal chairman and all that. I think he's finally got to the point where Vince would have liked him 10 years ago, right?
Right.
But Jacob Fatu did that in 2 months. And Jacob Fatu is a better wrestler than Roman Reigns.
I agree.
Better in the ring.
I
And
agree.
so this is, I mean, I hate, I'm not trying to slam Roman. People mistake this, okay? But like he the storyline made him, but he didn't make the storyline. You know what I mean? And so Cena wins this in the contest we're having right now of who is the greater success or whatever. Cena.
Okay, Brad, thoughts?
I'm in line with Matt, and also you have to examine the time period when Cena was champion. There's ebbs and flows always in WWE. You know, before the Attitude Era was going down, then it went up, and then we had the Ruthless Aggression Era, kind of dipped, and then Cena was the poster boy. Cena was
for
the flagship
era, right?
For a good decade. John Cena was WWE of the modern era. You know, you had Hulk Hogan in the 80s. In my opinion, everyone thinks of the Attitude 90s, early 2000s. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Some may think The Rock, but I think Stone Cold. After that, it's John Cena.
Some folks think what?
Some guy named Dwayne.
Hey, Rock! Go fuck yourself!
And if you said that to Stone Cold, he'd probably kick in the fucking balls.
Stun you. Yes.
Yeah. No, he'd probably kick in the balls, not stun you.
Well, a stunner. Well, kicking the balls, then a stunner.
He's a stunner,
Yeah. But you know, I mean, I'm no knock on Roman, because Roman finally found a character. The man was a character black hole. I mean,
Big dog, yeah.
Not on the level of Jade Cargill black hole character wise, but
I
was away for a week. Come on.
Hang on. We got stuff here for this. Ego.
Ego just died. You can't even
Ego.
go a stroke live on air there.
Look, sometimes you back the wrong.
That's for Brad. And for you, sir.
Oh, you poor baby.
Brad, you've made the Legos list. You've made his list.
I should have been on there already.
Wait. You mean?
You just made the list.
So, Ego, thoughts? You're muted.
I guess it's kind of weird because I missed the entire Ruthless Aggression era, but I do know that every time I saw Roman Reigns, it seemed to be against my will, and it took a while for him to get to where he is now. That's what I was.
Hey, you got one.
That is the funniest fucking comment I've ever heard from Ego. It was against my will.
Whoa. Wait, so you found that funnier than his worst match last week?
Yeah, I actually did.
That was impassioned.
None of us consented to Roman Reigns. There we go.
Yeah, I just from what people told me, that whole.
Come on, you're just giving him away.
It just seemed like he was being pushed and it wasn't natural. So I have to give Cena credit for that, because even when he did Thugonomics, which is weird to me with the spinner belt, because that's how I first met him, was a backwards hats and the spinner belt. Like, he seemed hilarious enough, and it seemed like the crowd. I know. I'm just saying it seemed the crowd liked him, so I could see I could see why they made you a thing. That's all. So I have to give it to John Cena for that.
Okay. Fun little debate there. It was a lot of fun. And that brings us into the staple of this show. And that is the Wednesday Nights Overbooked Top 5. I want to thank everyone who's been in the chat, been hanging out in the chat, talking with us. You guys have been great. We still have a goal, double-digit likes. So if you have not, also check the links down below for the merch store. Great way to support the channel. All of our channel links are down there as well.
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
Now, the Wednesday Nights Overbooked Top 5, the way this works is we have a category and we give our takes on this. And we have 5 takes. Our number 5 pick gets 1 point. Our number 1 pick gets 5 points. And our legal expert, Brad, who counts in 6s, not 5s, will tabulate. So by the end, we have a definitive, scientific response and a clear-cut winner. And I've just been told we were at 7 likes, 3 likes to go. If you have not hit that like button, make sure you do that. Thank you very much.
Now, I can only come up with 4 of them, as I was telling Joker before.
Okay,
so I'm going to pick one of your 3, basically, if it's not one of my other 4.
Okay. So this category is, because we're doing the best of 2025 so far. We're in a 6-month span here. And this is the top, oh my gosh, moments. Either holy shit moments, LOL moments, something you were not expecting to happen. So we're going to start with Mr. LeftEyeEgo here. Your number 5 OMG moments.
Number 5 is R-Truth's return. It's rather recent as of this Monday, but I have it because
you could say recency bias, but this is within the last 6 months, so it's all recency bias.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, it's the fact that there aren't a lot of great things about social media, but the two of them is I met you guys and negative, peer pressure works. We found out that the minute if we went back to the 90s when we found out someone was released, we wouldn't find out until weeks or months later. We'd be like, yo, where's our truth? And then we'd see him on another promotion or we hear about it and they were like, oh, he got released. That sucks. But I mean,
read Pro Wrestling Illustrated,
right. I am not privy to that. Yeah, I'm not privy to that. I'm not there high up on the wrestling insider list, but I'm just knowing that for the rest of us, the minute people heard it, even normies voice their concerns like, yo, this guy's a stable. He's awesome. He's been with everybody. He's been with Judgment Day. He's been with The Miz. He's done the whole Cena joke. He's hilarious. There's no way I can't see this person not being a part of the WWE. He's been here for almost 25 years. What is going on? And the fact that everyone got involved organically to the point where WWE realized their mistake and brought him back in within 6-7 days? A week?
7 days.
Yeah, within a week. Like, you usually don't get that kind of a high profile response. I thought this was a shit with like Sonic the Hedgehog in the first trailer they dropped. Like, the turnaround was that fast. So I've got that as top 5.
Gotcha. Brad, you're number 5.
Before I give you my top 5, may I introduce an honorable mention?
Sure.
For this, I will require sharing the screen because this is a video package.
I am intrigued.
Uh-oh. It's a trap.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. There we go.
1001.
Dang it. Come on.
Time is up.
There we go. Where did it go?
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see this.
And I would ask that you please remain silent for the full playing of this video
Oh, okay.
because it will lose effect otherwise.
Okay.
Guys, I have to make a confession. The worst match that I have seen this year was Jade Cargill v. Nia Jax. She's a selfish wrestler.
Whoa, I did not see that coming.
You generate heat. No, Logan Paul can do that better than you.
He's just getting started.
Can you even sell the wrestler's fucking move on you?
Holy shit.
So if you can't do any of these motherfucking things at all.
God damn, he's on fire.
So when it comes to the point where it's time to do your move, suddenly you can pose. Suddenly you've got motherfucking energy.
Freak brother!
That's completely selfish.
Ego's on him.
Doesn't give any respect to your opponent.
It's out of control, I tell you.
That you're only in it for yourself.
You can't stop him.
I don't want you on Raw or even SmackDown any longer.
I need a cigarette.
Yeah.
God damn.
I've never been edited the way I need to be edited. That's awesome.
Didn't I say I was going to give you something nice?
I got number 5. There we go.
Well played, sir. Well played, sir. Well played. Oh, that was glorious. Oh, God. Brad, I can't hear you. I can't hear it.
I didn't see. I sometimes hit the thing.
Gotcha.
I thought that was. I was almost going to put that as my number 5, but I'm like, no, it has to be an honorable mention.
Okay.
But
Oh, God.
honestly, my number 5 is Ron Killing's debut / return of R-Truth.
Gotcha.
Totally unexpected, and then when he follows up on Raw, just like the truth is here. It's Ron Killings. Yeah, that's a character change. That's
I
going to
love
be
our
interesting.
truth. Well, when he said, I love our truth, but our truth isn't driving anymore. He's driving. He is Ron Killings.
Yep.
That was
a great promo.
It was wonderful.
Great promo.
Absolutely wonderful. All right. But that honorable mention, oh my God, that was glorious.
Well, I'll take his honorable mention as my number 5.
There we go. Okay. The Ego Jade turn.
You saved the show there, Brad. You saved the show. But we were talking about this last week, how boring some of the stuff was this year, because we've seen it all and all that. And I was like struggling because I'm thinking of oh my God moments, not like really great like ring spots or whatever, but something that truly made me go holy shit in real life. You know what I mean?
And we had an Ego turn last year, but not to the level of explanation that Ego did last week. Because I had not had a chance to watch it till today. I'm like, holy fuck, dude's on fire.
Yeah.
I had enough.
That Ego's on fire.
My number 5. We start almost at the beginning of the year. January 3rd on SmackDown. We were wondering if she had read the instructions on the briefcase or something, but it's Tiffany Stratton cashing in on Nia Jax to become the WWE Women's Undisputed Champion. That was I'm like, oh my God, it's finally, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yes! I said she would start 2025 as champion. They waited 3 days just to screw with me, so jerks. Ego, you're number 4, sir.
All right. So after looking this up, none of these are actually anything that's really in match except for one. So number 4 is Pentagon Jr.'s debut.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd heard, like I said, with you guys, I'd heard whisperings about it. I didn't believe none of y'all. I'm like, no, there's no way the dopest wrestler that I've seen since 2014 could ever be popular enough in a corporation's eyes to be on the company. And not only was he was there like week after opening night. I mean, it was amazing. Like he was everything I thought he was going to be. And he looked even better than I thought he would on a WWE stage. So, I mean, just the moment of, I guess it feels like you guys, when you've watched all these wrestlers that have been going through the indies, like Punk, or there's other guys, like, oh, I remember them from this corporation. I remember from New Japan. I remember you from like AAA. And now you're on the main stage. Oh my God, I got to watch your journey. You're finally here. This is awesome. So when I saw that with Penta's debut on Netflix, WWE, like that's how I felt. So I got it as number 4.
Gotcha. Brad, you're number 4.
This is going to be funny considering what my honorable mention was. Jade attacking Naomi.
Elimination Chamber. Okay.
Okay.
Not Jade walking out, but Jade legitimately attacking Naomi. That was like, holy crap. This may have been the greatest acting job Jade Cargill has ever done.
That's the best thing Jade Cargill has done her entire career.
I mean, that looked legit. Like she was like legitimately pissed and went out and tried to beat the ever loving out of somebody. And then you got Bianca just screaming in horror. I'm like, what? It was a horror show.
Yes.
And it's like she can't get out to help her friend, and realizing her friends are, oh my God, what's happening? They're like, holy crap, this looked real. And the problem is, as OMG as that was, it can't go anywhere because it's Jade Cargill.
Right. But I agree. That is the best thing she has done in her entire WWE career.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, you're number.
My number 4. You guys are all suckered in by this. I don't know about you, Joker, but Ron Killings was actually fired. This is a work.
It is not a work.
I am convinced it's a work.
It's not a work.
You'll never convince me otherwise. Things worked out too perfectly for him to. He lost his. He's He was selling a lot of merch still.
Okay.
Over with the crowd.
But what's your 4?
That's my number 4.
Oh, truth. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think it's a work. It smells like a complete work to me. They would never just lay him up and not immediately get him on a Legends contract. That was like, because they'd be sacrificing like $50,000 for every week he's not under contract.
Merch was quickly available.
I would. This is a topic, a work or not, for another time.
Yeah.
My number 4. We're going to January 13th, the 2nd episode of Raw on Netflix. Ego, right there with you. It's the debut of Penta. When Michael Cole said it was the worst kept secret in the entire industry, I'm like, Michael, you weren't being very secretive about it at all. You were dropping hints like crazy. So, yeah, secretive, no. But immediately the guy got over, and they've done a great job with his presentation, letting him strut, letting him be the showman that Penta really is. Because the guy puts on an absolute show every match he is in. The personality, everything about it, the cero miedo has gotten over.
Oh, he's awesome.
I'm surprised they're not selling gloves yet. Which weird, but
or jean jackets. Damn, come on, guys.
All righty. So that's mine, number 4. Ego, you're number 3.
All right. Again, even more recent than recency bias. Number 3 is Mariah May's NXT debut.
Whoa. You mean
who's Mariah May?
You mean Blake Monroe?
Oh, that's what they're saying it now. Okay.
That is her name.
I don't know
Blake
who Mariah May is.
Monroe.
That's not what the fans will be calling her, for sure.
Yes, they will be.
Okay. Blake Monroe, or the Madness, apparently, has I been told.
No, the Glamour. The Glamour.
The Glamour. The Glamour's debut on NXT. I know that we talked about the week before last, our top 5 matches of the year candidates, and I had Blake Monroe as number 1. Her match was fantastic. So the fact that I heard, it's like a Solomon Grundy rhyme, like Blake Monroe released on a Wednesday, signed at WWE on a Thursday, debut on Friday on NXT. It's awesome. It's an awesome thing to say.
Blake Monroe won pants.
Right. I'm like, damn, this is actually pretty cool. So I didn't know the turnaround would be that fast. And I forgot how close that it was in state, so that she like, hey, I got dropped, I signed, boom, I'm here, and like, yo, I'm ready. So JC's dropping the title tomorrow, to me, in my opinion, when he showed up. So I got number number 3. Sorry.
So Brad, how far away is Jacksonville to Orlando?
Orlando or me?
No, the performance center's in.
Oh, okay. About 2.5 hours. Depending on traffic.
So basically, when Mariah signed her exit from AEW, by the time she got to Orlando, the ink was dry in Jacksonville.
Yeah, she literally drives down 95 and connects at I-4 just after Daytona Beach and drives west to Orlando.
Gotcha. All right, Brad, you're number 3.
My number 3 is going to be a recent one from the women's Money in the Bank. It's going to be the double code red. Okay. I just thought that was the coolest hell spot. And I know we've probably seen it before, but I thought it came off really well. And I especially like the way it was shot, how you could see it. It looked really good. I'm like, oh, damn, that looked painful. That to me is what an OMG is. It's like, that sort of thing.
So are we going to hear about another spot from the women's Money in the Bank later on in your top 5?
No.
Really? Not the Devil's Kiss?
No, because this one stuck out more to me.
Really?
Okay. But again, that's a personal preference.
Okay.
Also, Alexa Bliss was involved.
Gotcha. Matt, you're number 3.
So this is my only actual wrestling move per se on the list.
No.
Very rarely do wrestlers innovate and either make something new or dig up something that someone hasn't used in a while and borrow / steal it. But Logan Paul and the Pulverizer, it's a wrestling move that looks like what actually hurt you, but it looks safe to do. The legit looking finisher. It you know what I mean? And the fact that whether he's, I mean, obviously someone probably do this in Japan or wherever, you know, that we just haven't seen. But I was like, I literally legit said, "Holy shit!" when he did it first time. So
that's a beautiful move. And I had heard that he and Cena were talking about their match at Money in the Bank, and Logan Paul was talking about doing that acai moonsault onto the announce table, and Cena was like, "There's no way you're gonna make that jump," and Logan was like, "Watch me." Yeah, the guy is incredible, absolutely incredible. Yes. So my number 3, again, Ego. We are on the same wavelength here. It is the debut of Blake Monroe from NXT. Again, we knew all the signs were happening that she was making her way to the WWE. It was a Friday when she was removed from the roster. That's generally the sign that they are done with the company. And it was Tuesday that she has announced that she makes her TV debut. Yesterday they unveiled her name. Next week she officially signs her NXT contract. So it is the arrival of Blake Monroe. All right, Ego, you're number 2.
All right, this is technically 10 to 12 years behind the curve, but no less surprising when it happened. John Cena's heel turn.
Okay.
It's of all the people that they chose to have a heel turn at this point in the game, it was one of the most unexpected, especially considering the fact that Cena was an absolute cheerleader for the aforementioned clip that we always use at least twice on this stream. You know what that is. But yeah, so I mean, the fact that was in the same.
Hey, Rock, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what, yeah, for that, like that same clip, like
Context.
50 seconds later is the heel turn that like pretty much shocked everyone and started the Break a Wish campaign. I was like, you know, I'm finally get to relive. Finally get to see what everyone saw should have happened a decade ago. So I'm loving this heel turn run, and it all started with his heel turn against Cody Rhodes. So I got it. Number 2.
All righty, Brad.
I also have a heel turn.
Okay.
Paul nut punches Phil.
Oh. Yeah.
Heyman.
Oh,
nut punches Punk.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Heyman. WrestleMania.
That, look, none of us expected that.
No.
I mean, honestly, I had Punk winning.
We all did.
And to see Paul Heyman turn on who's described as his closest friend, that was shocking to me. And honestly, so masterfully done.
Gotcha. Yes. Wow. Good one. Matt, you're number 2.
My number 2 is John Cena's first heel promo after the turn. It is arguably, like, when I think of the greatest promos of all time, I can only think of 2 or 3 above it right now. That promo, more so, well, I won't tell you what number 1 is, because you can guess based on what number 2 is. When Cena delivered that promo, and all that vitriol came out, and it was such a great, well constructed. I don't know if he ad-libbed it or it was a legit like pre-constructed promo, and like took everything that happened like the night before and twisted it into dark, like elevated its heelness over the mountain, so to speak, with that promo. And I was like, holy shit, like 4 or 5 times when he was doing it, like, did he really say that? You know? Like, because you expected a great heel promo from Cena, plus the turn. But to take it to the level that he did with that promo, it's one of my top. I mean, I can't put it above Hard Times. I can't put it above that Dudley promo that like almost caused the building to burn down. But
how about the Simon jacket?
It's in that tier of like below those two. There's maybe 6 other promos that you could float around, and you know what I mean. And I still am like amazed by it. I've watched it like 4 times. I really within like it's only been 2 months ago. I watched it 4 times. I've only ever watched Hard Times 5, 6 or 7 times in my entire life. To give you an idea, you know. So,
gotcha. Okay, my number 2, Ego. It's weird. This is the 3rd one. This is the 3rd in a row. We are all on the same page. John Cena healed. John Cena healed. The John Cena heel turn. Didn't expect it. I did not think the WWE had the balls to make that happen. Just like I didn't think they had the balls to.
Hey, Rock! Go fuck yourself!
One of the greatest moments in WWE history. So that is my number 2. All right, Ego. It's time for your number 1.
Man, number 1, I have never seen a handler or manager or mouthpiece ever affect the trajectory of a match so significantly as Paul Heyman's triple cross, or triple screw job, if that's the way you want to call it. I mean, I guess I would have seen the Paul Heyman double cross coming. Like, hey, I was trying to be friends with CM Punk so that I could say, that, hey, you're the true person that I serve, you know, Roman Reigns, and then for him to like double cross Roman and say, no, it's Seth. Yo, that completely caught me off guard. And again, for as short of a time that I've ever seen wrestling, I haven't seen a manager affect the outcome of a match to that extent. It screwed over not one person, but 2. And the only person that's a manager could do that to me is Paul Heyman. So I've got that as number 1.
Gotcha. Okay.
Actually, I think that's pretty much the same as me. I just focused on the Punk aspect of it.
Right.
But for me, clearly, as someone who's been watching wrestling since a kid, when we had our Real American Hero turn, we never thought John Cena would go to the dark side. That was legitimately like, I can't believe it's happening. Like when Ego doesn't remember what it's like when the NWO formed. To see Hulk
I do.
Hogan.
I remember that. I saw the match. I remember that turn.
Yeah, but you don't know what it's like because you weren't watching Hulk Hogan when we were kids.
That's fair. Fair. I apologize.
I saw WrestleMania 3 on pay-per-view. We paid for that shit.
And
Hulk Hogan was, I mean, he was still the hero. I mean, he was still doing movies and TV shows. Thunder Lips in Paradise and Babysitter Commando, whatever the hell he was. He was the true hero. It's like, how could Hulk Hogan go? How could Make-A-Wish John Cena turn heel? And instead, honestly, look, it don't count, but let's nominate John Cena for an Oscar. Because this may be the greatest acting performance he's ever given and will ever give, period, in his very mediocre but somewhat amusing comedic acting career.
Gotcha. Matt, you're number 1.
And just to add one thing on to what Brad said, when we had inside knowledge back then, no one except Hogan knew he was going to do the heel turn until literally he walked in the arena like an hour before the match.
Yep.
You know, so that being said, my number one is the John Cena heel turn.
Gotcha.
I had on my face, I'm fairly sure, the same expression as that black dude when the Undertaker left the match.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because Cena's been criticized for years for never going heel for legit reason to make a wish and all the kids and all that. And then not only was it a heel turn, it was so masterfully executed right after Hey Rock and all that, and then so masterfully executed. What was the exact line that I sold your soul, whatever, or the Rock's line and all that. It was so masterfully executed, right? And it's the top. Like I said, the great heel turns are Zbyszko betraying Bruno, Hogan's heel turn, and this one are your three. And there's a couple others in there, but it's in that level of heel turn,
Yeah.
So, there you go.
All right, my number one. We're still in the month of January. Didn't expect it. Came completely out of left field. Royal Rumble number 21 on the women's side. The music hits and the pop for Alexa Bliss. The return of Alexa Bliss. Again, goosebumps just thinking about it. That pop was ridiculous. One of the biggest pops this entire year so far has been, and again, didn't see it coming, had no idea it was happening, and apparently neither did Shotzi, because she was told a few hours before the show started. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, you're going to be dropped for Alexa Bliss. Sorry.
Yeah. So, my calculations, we have a clear number 3, a clear number 2, and a clear number 1.
An honorary number 1 with my number 5. Honorable 1.
One honorable mention.
Okay, so at number 3, we have
Blake, whatever her name is now.
Blake Monroe, the debut of Blake Monroe, a lovely creature, beautiful creature.
Totally new character, totally new wrestler. Never heard of her before.
And
no background whatsoever.
Gimmick completely different from where she used to work.
Wait, she had a wrestling career beforehand?
I know, weird.
That's weird. She looks a lot like that Mariah May chick, but I don't know. They all look alike.
Right.
Hot.
At number 2.
On wrestlers. I got the Heyman turn.
The Heyman turn, number 2. And the clear, number 1.
Which is no freaking shock at all.
No.
Other than the fact it happened. That was a shock.
I mean, it was almost, it was like 18 points. It was either number 2.
Yeah, I got 18.
Yeah, 18 points. This was ridiculous. So that is Wednesday Night's Overbooked Top 5 for this week. Next week, tune in for the top. Thomas wants a recount. He was
top 5 times Eagle has been disappointed in a wrestler.
Well, I mean, hang on. Got one in it.
Jaden.
I made the list. Yes.
Next week, top female talent of 2025 so far. And you can include NXT as well.
AEW or just WWE?
Let's go. You know what? Open it up.
I don't know anyone, so.
Okay. We're going to open it up. So.
Jade Cargill.
She has all 5 spots.
Is this the new Dave Chappelle dial-on?
Yeah. Jade Cargill like that Yu-Gi-Oh card that you have to assemble in 5 cards. So she has all 5 spots.
I hate you.
Alrighty. So thank you for everyone who has tuned in. Mr. Sad Sack himself.
Oh, you poor baby.
But got a lovely gift as well. So I hope he's in better spirits. What do you have coming up this week, Mr. LeftEyeEgo?
as I try to recover from the fact that my heart has been broken in two, you can help me feel better by checking out my latest video about the Sinners movie review and how I called the Black Panther race swap 6 months in advance of the latest Black Panther comic that dropped. Hopefully, I'll be able to do a toy unboxing with Roman either this week or early next week. And this Sunday, me and Shira will be going live with Ordinary Gains. Hear how women are the worst people to be around when you are driving.
Wow. Okay. This is why I'm not married, because I don't have discussions like this.
Sometimes I understand y'all's points day after day.
Mr. Duke Devil 95, what do you have coming up, sir?
Yeah, I'm technically not married, but kind of is. Wormhole Watch every week on my channel. This week we're on the 3rd episode of season 2, titled The Siege. Also on my channel, hopefully in the next hour, assuming I can finish the edit, is my review of the most recent Superman trailer, which is got me interested. Otherwise, you can see me tomorrow night on Static 2020's oh God, I was gonna say when it overbooked. Thursday's weekend pregame, where he tortures us with the most cringy TikTok videos because he's a sadist and should probably be down in Guantanamo Bay or something.
Well, not to be confused with Guantanamo Bay.
No, that's entirely different. That's up in Jacksonville.
Correct. Mr. Hardcore Blood Bank Matt, what do you have coming up, sir?
Some genius out there, Jacob, needs to do this. Make a Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh card with Jade Cargill with the special power called the Bricking, where every time you deploy, she cuts all the combat power of all her allied cards by 90%.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No.
That being said, Joker and I will be on Roman's show tomorrow talking about movies about music. Next week,
but not musicals.
Yes. No Oklahoma.
No.
Next week we'll be doing the Working with Overbooked, obviously. And this weekend there'll be a video dropped on the channel, The Questioners, where me and one of my friends over there, we go over a bunch of topics related to video games and stuff like that. So.
Gotcha. And as for myself, yes, you can catch me on with Roman of the Empire tomorrow night, talking movies about music, but not musicals. Also, I've also got my content coming out as Friday, I'll be talking about the possible scenarios going into King and Queen of the Ring, going into a little more detail. And of course, back here, Wednesday night is overbooked. I want to thank everyone in the chat for hanging out. Again, if you have not subscribed or dropped a like yet,
I say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
And on behalf of everyone at Wednesday Night is Overbooked, I want to say, keep talking, keep smiling. Until next time.
Toodles!
Take care.
And here we go.
Is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Ah!